Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So today we're just going to show you a quick way of getting information from an HTML element, input element, into the form and return it back to the HTML element. We're going to use something called template reference variable. Don't worry about it too much. We will show you how to do this. Let's start creating a brand new component. So ng generate component. Let's call it my form. Obviously, you don't have to type the whole generate component. If you wanted to, you can just do GC. And obviously, every component gets, when you create it, it gets given test files, which are basically not needed at the moment. So skip tests will make sure that it won't generate any test files. It'll only do your form. So my form is going to go and create that. So it's created my form. It's added a reference in my app.module.ts, the main module basically. So if I go to app component, you can see it's got some old stuff here, I think. So if you see here, it's only got the router, nothing else. Okay, let's go to my form, which is created under the folder my form, subfolder my form. So here we have only a p tag that says my form works. Let's change that. So to create a form, we need to have styling and all that of from Bootstrap, because then it looks much better, cleaner. So let's say one of the classes from Bootstrap is form group, which basically groups elements of forms. Let's give it a margin of 3. Now here we can say, right, we're going to ask the user to enter something. So we're going to say label, enter your number. Let's just ask to enter a number. We need to now do an input tag. So it's already got text on air form control, which is what we want. And then we're gonna say on key up, because that's the event we're gonna capture. We're gonna say, right, we're gonna call the event that's handler that's gonna handle it same. So we're gonna call it same. So here we have on key up event. So once the key is up, a user's finished typing keys, then call this method, and we're gonna do something here, something called template reference variable. For template reference variable, you do a hash, so like that, and then you give it a name. So in my case, I'm going to show a txt value, and then what you do here is you just say txt value, send the value of that. So it'll send the value to the ts file, the TypeScript file. So what we want to do as well is show the output. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the number, we're going to square it, we're going to return it back onto the form. So we're going to say Jumbotron, because that's one of the Bootstrap classes. So if we tab that, then we have this. What we can do is say, maybe make it bold. Yeah, let's make it bold and say you have entered, and we can do string interpolation here, which is basically one-way binding. And we're going to say txt value dot, I'll show what's going on here, all over the place, dot value. So you've entered txt value, and then we're going to put a space. We're going to say which is when squared is, let's say is, not sure about the actual English of that, but is, let's call it SQ number, let's say squared number basically. So what we're saying here is we're asking the user for a number. They enter the number inside the input text. We set up a template reference variable. We call it txt value up. We then said on the event of key up, you call this method or this functional handler, which we calling it on key up. It's easier to remember. So on key up, we want that number, and once it's done, we want to be send back the user's value, and also we want a square number to be sent back, a squared of the square of the value that the user entered. So if you go to TS here, what we need to do is we need to say square number is a number. We need to declare it here. Then we're going to have to say on key up, because that's a function we called it. Now we're going to get something called value. We could call it whatever, but we just call it value. Okay, so what we're going to do in this, say this dot square number is equal to, we're going to use a math built-in library. So it's called math.pow, which basically POW takes in anything and does a specified power to that number. So if I say the number coming in is value, so whatever the user is sending in, I want to square that. So make this variable square number equal to this. Now, so that's there, that's on key up. So we've now tied up that with our TS file, so it should be all fine. Now what we need to do is app.component.html is the first thing that runs. So if I show you, if I build this first, ng serve is how to get this to run. But if we do -o, then it'll open a tab on our browser. So if I run that here, so if I grab a browser, for example here, let's grab this browser here, you'll see it will, once it's done compiling of this code, then it will open a tab here. So probably open that one there. There you go, it's open then. Unfortunately, there's nothing to show. The reason being is, if I move that way, this has got nothing in it. So if I said hello world, and I don't have to do anything really, it'll just update itself. And if I bring back my tab or the form, you can see it says hello world. Now I want to show my beautiful form that I just created, which is here on this page. So how do I do that? Is basically I go to my form, the TS, grab the selector, which is that one here. It's called a selector. Go in here and say, right, I want to have a space here and then have my form rendered here. So what will happen is it renders it here. See? So we have everything that we've put in. Enter your number, you have entered, which is when squared is. So if I said 9, so 9 squared, hang on, something's not right. So if I said 9, it's not rendering. Why? So on key up, txt value dot value. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. This one. So on key up value, okay, squared number. I think I got the string interpolation probably wrong. Txt value, that looks good. Square number looks good. That has been saved. Yes, it has. So the value word is right. Square number. Txt value on key up. On key up. Oh, that's a mistake. So that's the mistake. So what will happen now if I do 981? You can see 10, 100. So basically, yeah, so I think I was going on key up. So this is wrong. That was wrong on key up. But this thing here is now used. This hashtag txt value is used in here and back to here, but it's also used in here, so being passed in and passed back, so we can do whatever we want with it and return it to the square number, which is then shown here. So if I grab the form again, so you'll see if I said 100 is squared 100, as you can see it types it immediately. So okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and you realize that you should be key up, and also you realize that always have to add the selector, so you want it rendered unless you want a specific page which requires navigation. I hope you enjoyed this quick demo in Angular. It's a very basic, but it shows you how you can get a form running quickly. Thank you for watching this, and hope to catch you later. Bye.